Let's be honest, the copywriting industry is a lie. Not the skill, the industry. The gurus, the fake testimonials, the courses teaching you how to find clients from people who haven't had a real client in years. Everyone's selling the dream of becoming a copywriter, but almost nobody's teaching you how to actually get paid. So in this video, I'm gonna break the illusion and show you what really works in 2026. I'm gonna show you how to make $3,000 a month with copywriting using my full stack method. The same method I've used to go from $0, broke, struggling to make my first dollar online, to finding my first copywriting client in just 30 days and making more than $3,000 a month with it. Now, what I'm about to share in this video, not only has it worked for me, it has worked for hundreds of guys that were struggling to make their first dollar online with copywriting and are now able to make a full living with it in a matter of 3 to 6 months. And I decided to give you guys everything in this course for free. So in this video, we'll cover the fastest way to learn the skill of copywriting, which takes about 14 days to do, the best strategies to find clients in 2026, and how much you can charge them with some real life examples of some of the projects I do for my clients. But hey, I want to be honest, man. I'm not a multi-million-dollar company CEO or anything. My name is Priyank, and I'm just a copywriter. That's what I do in real life. I've been doing this for 5 years now and currently make between $15,000 to $30,000 per month depending on the months. So what I'm about to share with you in this video is what I still apply to this day in the trenches. And without further ado, let's get into the blueprint. So as you're watching this video, there's a high chance you're still a beginner. You've probably watched videos about copywriting, maybe you read a few books, and I know you're probably super excited to make money with copywriting, right? But before even thinking about making money, getting clients and enjoying life in Bali, at this point, your only focus should be to forget the noise and focus on building the skill. So the first step is obviously to learn the skill of copywriting. It usually takes about 2 to 4 weeks to get good enough to move on to the following step. And I know it's not a lot, but it shouldn't take long because copywriting is not a technical skill like coding. It's a creative skill, and there are 2 different aspects of copywriting you need to learn. The first one is to train your mind, and the second one is to train your hands. You can think of it as theory and practice, and for that, I came up with what I call the 1-hour power block. Those are just simple habits you need to follow for 1 hour per day, and if you do these for long enough, in about 14 days from now, you can be a good copywriter. The first habit of the 1-hour power block is that every morning, read at least 1 great email every day. Reading the newsletters of some famous copywriters will allow you to train your mind. And by repeating this daily, you'll start to turn this into a habit and your brain will start to rewire and understand patterns. Because when you study people who are already making millions with their words, you start absorbing their rhythm and their structure. So to do that, I highly recommend you guys go and read the emails of guys like Ben Settle, who's the best email copywriter on the planet, Yen Stanley, another great copywriter, Alex Hormozi. You can also read my emails. You'll learn a ton just by reading and analyzing them. You'll find the link to my newsletter in the description box down below. And as you read those emails, analyze the structure of the copy and try to notice how do they keep you reading? What's the hook, the story, the offer, the psychological patterns? Now, after you've done that, the second habit to learn the skill of copywriting is to rewrite their emails for 30 minutes a day, no excuses. The goal here is to train your creativity and mimic what the masters do. So you're just going to take an email, one from the guys I recommended, could be anything honestly, and you rewrite the email in your own style. And you do that for 30 minutes every single day. You're probably going to suck at first, but that's good. It means you're learning. When I got started, my emails were trash, but by sticking to this habit daily, I quickly got good. So stick to this habit for at least 14 days straight. Then the third habit to learn the skill of copywriting is a concept that I call the practice client. Pick someone in your head, could be a content creator that you like, a guru that you follow, or even your favorite protein powder brand. I don't care. It could be in any niche and any market. Pretend they hired you and start writing emails for them. This is how you turn practice into progress. You're not just writing random stuff. You're training your brain to connect copy to outcomes. And that's where everything starts to click. Now, if you start doing this daily for 14 to 30 days and constantly try to improve yourself, you will be good at copywriting. Alright, so now that you have the skill of copywriting, we can move on to step 2 of the blueprint to hit $3,000 a month this year. The second step is that we're going to pick your niche. So in a few minutes from now, I'll show you how to start getting your first clients and make money with copywriting. But before we do that, we need to be clear on what type of clients you want to work with. And that's why we'll pick your niche. You see, the best niche for me may not be the best niche for you. Like for example, I wouldn't want to write for software brands because I have zero interest in this. But I'm a big fan of the fitness industry, so I'd love to write for fitness coaches and content creators. The last thing you want is to wake up every morning writing copy for a niche you can't stand. So here's the rule of thumb I teach to all of my students. Pick a niche that you enjoy, but where there's also opportunity. Because if you only chase what you love, you might stay broke. And if you only chase money, you'll burn out. You need both. So let's say you're like me. You like going to the gym. You could tap into fitness coaches and content creators, or supplement brands. If you like business and marketing, you could tap into business coaches and gurus. In my opinion, coaches and info businesses are some of the best places to start. So any business owner that sells a course or coaching program to their audience. Why? Because they already perceive the value of copywriting. They sell courses, coaching programs, masterminds. They all have email lists, and they all need someone to write daily or weekly emails that convert. In fact, a lot of my students start there. Dylan, who's 24 years old, makes $5.5K per month writing for coaches. Alada, who's 23, makes over $10,000 a month writing for info businesses. Now, another great market is e-commerce brands. They live and die by their email lists, and they make a ton of money from their newsletters. So they need someone like you to become their copywriter. For example, Antoine, one of my students, just hit $5,000 per month this year writing copy for e-com brands. Roman, another copywriter I mentored, just hit $17,000 a month doing the exact same thing. These two markets, e-commerce and coaching businesses, are the ones where copywriters thrive. On the other hand, here are some niches and markets I wouldn't recommend. Local businesses like restaurants or small shops, they usually don't have the budget or the systems or even the need for consistent copywriting. So if you're starting out, focus on markets where there's already money moving and you can see yourself enjoying the topic. And from there, you can pick your niche based on what excites you the most. Now, once you've picked your niche, it's going to be a lot easier to land clients and actually make money with copywriting, because now we're about to get crystal clear on your messaging. You're not just another copywriter, you're a specialist who understands their world. And from there, we're about to get serious, my friend. Step 3 of the blueprint is landing your first client. So at this point of the process, you've learned the skill of copywriting. You've practiced enough for 14 to 21 days, and you're clear on what niche and what type of clients you want to work for. So the thing to do next is to start the outreach and reach out to real businesses and land your first client. And let me tell you something, this part is even more important than the copywriting itself, because you may be the best copywriter in the world. If you don't know how to land clients, you'll stay broke forever. And the mistake most beginners make is that they wait. They wait until they feel ready, until they watched every tutorial, every YouTube video, read every book. But the truth is, you'll never feel ready. The only way to get good at the game is to actually start playing it. So let's talk about how to do that the smart way. I'm gonna give you 2 outreach methods you can start using today, and I promise they're simple, practical, and they work. But before we get tactical, let me give you the philosophy that makes this whole thing work. If you're just starting out, forget trying to close $5,000 a month retainers from day one. That's not how it works. Being a copywriter also means you're an entrepreneur. It means you're willing to take risks, put yourself out there, and earn your first opportunity. So here's the mindset shift. Provide value first. Work free if you need to. Offer 1 or 2 weeks of writing for a client for free, just to prove what he can do. Show them you're motivated. Show them you're willing to go above and beyond. Because writing for free on a real business is worth way more than any $5,000 course you could buy. A course gives you theory. Free work gives you data, real feedback, real results. You get to test your copy on a real list and learn in the field. And when that business owner sees all the value you can bring to the table, you'll have something way more valuable than money, my friend. Proof. Proof you can get results. Proof you can deliver. That's what gets you paid next time. Now, here are my 2 favorite outreach methods to land your first client. The first one is Instagram video DMs. Start by engaging with small content creators. I'd recommend you guys go for the ones that have anywhere in between 1,000 to 50,000 followers. Leave thoughtful comments on their posts for a few days. Make sure they see your name. Then reach out with a short video DM, 30 to 60 second max, where you show them that you've been following their work and notice something they could improve. Offer to write for them for a week, completely free, just to prove what he can do. Instagram outreach is how I landed my very first client. At the time, I had zero experience in copywriting, and I was just like you, watching YouTube videos on how to find clients. And I just followed the steps I'm sharing in this video. I sent the video DM to a business owner who was selling a course. He replied, we got on a call, and I offered to work for free for a week. And by the end of it, I made him an offer and closed him at $4,000 per month as a retainer client. I still have the screenshot of that first payment in 2022, and that was honestly one of the best days of my life. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. So Instagram, in my opinion, is the most powerful way to do it if you want to have results fast. The second outreach method to hit your first $3,000 per month with copywriting is cold email. This one, is one of the most powerful outreach strategies. The concept is simple. You find people or businesses you love to work with, and you send them a short, personalized email that proves you've done your homework. You open with something personal, a small detail that you've noticed about their brand. Then you add a simple pattern interrupt like, I saw you're running great content, but I noticed a gap in your emails and wanted to fix it for you. Here's a 2-minute loom where I just show you exactly what I mean. Now listen, this is crucial. If you go for cold emails, one great thing to do is to attach a personalized video in the email. These Loom videos should be personalized. In these videos, you record your screen, show them their emails or website, and give them 2 or 3 things you'd improve. Of course, in that video, you introduce yourself real quick and explain what you do. Then show an example of an email that you wrote for them and finish it with a quick call to action where you offer to implement this for them for free. They get results, you get feedback. It's a win-win scenario. And the goal here isn't to sound smart, it's to show effort, to show that you actually care. Because in a world where everyone is just copy pasting DMs, being the one person who sends a personal Loom video instantly makes you unforgettable. Now, it doesn't matter which outreach method you choose, whether it's Instagram or cold email. At this stage, the key factor to make your first $3K per month in copywriting is volume. You have to commit yourself to sending at least 100 outreaches a day for the next 90 days. Constantly improve based on results and replies you're getting. Track absolutely everything from the people who ghost you to the calls you book. And if you do that for 90 days straight, you'll end up with way more opportunities than you ever had. But remember, at this stage, we're not looking to close a client yet. We're just looking for opportunities and free trials. So if you've applied what I just shared in this video, after about a month, you've sent close to 3,000 DMs and emails. And even if only 1% say yes, that's 30 business owners who've tested your copy. 30 people who could become long-term clients. So what do you do next? You close. Once you've brought results and they've seen what you can do, it's time to start charging. And here's what that looks like. So there are different ways to charge your copywriting clients. The first model is monthly retainers. This is where most of my students start. And that's also what I did. You write daily emails for a client, about 5 to 7 emails per week, and charge anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000 a month. What's great about this model is that it's recurring, predictable income. The second model is flat fee plus percentage. This one gives you more upside. You charge a smaller flat rate, maybe $500 to $1,000 a month, but you also take 5% of the sales generated by your emails. So for example, if by the end of the month, your client has generated $30,000 from your emails, you'd get paid an extra $1,500 since you take 5% of the total sales. That's how you turn skill into leverage. Because now, the better your emails perform, the more you earn. But since you're just getting started, I recommend you start with the flat fee model because it allows you to increase your monthly income in a predictable way. Now, let me give you an example of what that looks like in real life. As I said before, my very first client was an e-commerce coach. I started by writing for free and he loved my work. So I presented him my offer and we agreed on a retainer deal. I was about to write 20 emails per month for him and was getting paid $4,000 a month for that. My emails were bringing him an extra $30,000 to $50,000 per month in sales, which makes it a great investment for him. Now, another good example is one of my students, Anthony. He writes 1 email per day for a love coach. That's about 30 emails a month. He charges $2,500 a month on retainer. That's 1 client, 1 email per day, and he's making what most people make at a full-time job. So when you start landing your clients, remember this: start small, but scale fast once you've proven your value. The first month might be free. The second month might be just $500. The third month might be $2,500. But each step compounds. Each project gives you more proof, more leverage, more confidence. And before you know it, you can have a few clients paying you thousands a month. That's the power of copywriting done right. But remember, none of this can work if you don't commit yourself to this seriously. But if you do, it will change your life like it changed mine. And if you want to see how I actually applied this in real life to land my very first client, then you should watch this video next. I'll show you how I landed my first $4,000 per month client after just 28 days in the game by using everything I just shared here. So just go ahead and watch it and I'll see you there.